My friends, pause for a moment and breathe. Do not think of yourself as a small being walking through an endless world. Instead, understand this truth: you are not in the world. You are the world. Every choice you make shapes reality. Every thought you carry paints the sky. Every moment you live is the pulse of existence itself. Presence is the foundation of all time. Without presence, you can live 100 years and still never touch life. Think about it, most people do not live their days, only remember fragments of yesterday and imagine pictures of tomorrow. They walk through this world as though time is elsewhere, as though the meaning of life hides in some future event. But the truth is simple and profound. The only place where life exists is here, now, in this very breath. This moment is not one among many. It is the only one that has ever existed, the only one that will ever exist. If you miss this, you miss the world itself. To begin with presence means to anchor yourself in the reality of this instant. It means to awaken your awareness to the simple fact that you are alive, that you are breathing, that you are seeing, feeling, and existing in this very second. Nothing is missing here. Nothing is lacking. When your mind is scattered, when your attention is stolen, time slips through your fingers like sand. But when you gather yourself back to the present moment, even 1 minute becomes vast, even 1 second becomes enough. Look at how life unfolds when you are truly here. The sound of the wind carries a depth you never noticed. The texture of your food becomes rich and alive. The person speaking to you is no longer a voice in the background, but a human being filled with life, emotion, and spirit. To live in presence is to rediscover the world as if for the first time. And what is the value of this? It is that presence stretches time. When you are absent, hours disappear and you cannot even remember them. But when you are present, 1 moment can feel eternal. A day becomes long and meaningful. This is how we maximize time, not by counting hours, but by filling them. Presence is not something you chase, it is something you return to. Each breath is a doorway back to yourself. Each sensation in your body, each sound in your environment is an invitation. Many people think they need to escape their busy lives to find presence, but that is not true. Presence is not found in silence alone. It can be found in the noise, in the rush, in the ordinary. It is not about what surrounds you, how you meet it. Washing the dishes, you can be absent, dreaming of the future. Or you can be fully here, feeling the water, hearing the sound, breathing into the moment. Both take the same minutes, but one is lost and the other is lived. When you begin with presence, time stops being your enemy. Most people fight with time, feeling there is never enough of it, always chasing, always behind. Time is not against you, it is only a mirror. If you are absent, time will feel empty. If you are present, time will feel abundant. This is why presence is the first and most important step to maximizing time, because without it, nothing else matters. Discipline, planning, even purpose itself will be wasted if you are not truly here to experience them. So breathe, feel the air moving through you. Notice the weight of your body on the ground. Hear the life around you. In this moment, you are not in the world, you are the world. And when you understand this, when you return again and again to presence, you will see that time is no longer something slipping away. It is something alive, something endless, something waiting to be lived fully, here and now. The way the morning begins is the way the day will unfold. If you wake in haste, if you begin in noise, if you let the weight of yesterday rush into the silence of dawn, then the hours ahead will be filled with confusion. If you rise with awareness, if you enter the day with calm, discipline, and intention, then the world bends to that rhythm. The morning is not just the start of the day, it is the seed from which the entire day grows. A neglected seed will not bear strong fruit. A carefully planted seed will flourish into abundance. Think of the morning as the most sacred space of time. Is the place where the world is quiet, where your mind is not yet pulled in many directions, where the distractions of the day have not yet claimed you. If you claim this space for yourself, you claim the day. If you lose this space, day claims you. It is not about how many hours you have. It is about how you set the tone. One mindful morning creates 12 hours of strength. One careless morning weakens even the strongest body. To master the morning does not mean to fill it with endless tasks. It does not mean rushing through routines or measuring yourself against rigid rules. It means entering the day with clarity. It means giving the first minutes to silence, to breath, to movement, to something that strengthens both body and spirit. The first light of the sun should not find you lost in distraction, but grounded in awareness. When you wake and touch the earth with steady feet, when you breathe deeply before speaking a word, you tell the world, I am ready. So many people rise late, already tired, already behind, reach for their devices, and their mind is scattered before their body has even awakened. In those moments, they surrender their power, allow the world to set their pace instead of setting it themselves. The morning is a gift, a moment where you can decide the direction of your life again. Each day you rise, you are given a chance to begin anew. Do not waste it. Mastery of the morning requires discipline. It asks you to rise even when it is easier to remain in sleep. It asks you to remember that the first action of the day shapes all the actions that follow. If you train your body in the morning, you carry energy through the day. If you feed your spirit in the morning, you carry peace through the day. If you scatter your mind in the morning, you carry chaos through the day. Life is not random. It is a reflection of the way you begin. When the morning belongs to you, time belongs to you. A person who begins the day with awareness finds that the hours expand, tasks become lighter, and even difficulties are faced with strength. A person who begins the day without direction finds that time slips away, that tasks multiply, and that even small problems weigh heavy. This is the hidden truth. How you live the first hour is how you will live the last. Rise early, rise calmly, rise with purpose. When your eyes open, do not be in a rush to meet the world. First meet yourself. First meet your breath. First meet your spirit. From this foundation, you will not only walk through the day, you will shape it. And when the sun sets, you will look back and know that your time was not wasted, because it was born from a morning mastered. Noise is not only sound. Noise is everything that steals your attention without giving back meaning. It is the constant pool of voices, the endless stream of images, clutter of thoughts that do not belong to you. Noise hides in many forms, in the glow of a screen that you stare at without purpose, in the conversations that circle around emptiness, in the worries that replay in your mind again and again. Noise drains not just minutes, the very strength of your life. To maximize time, you must learn to cut away the noise. When there is noise in your mind, running through the park, you cannot hear your own spirit. When there is noise in your environment, you cannot see the clarity of the present moment. Distracted mind does not live fully. It jumps from one thing to another, never finishing, never tasting the depth of what is right here. Many people believe they do not have enough time, but in truth, they have enough. It is simply being devoured by noise. Hours disappear not because life is short, but because life is drowned in things that do not matter. Cutting away the noise does not mean rejecting the world or hiding from it. It means choosing with wisdom what deserves your attention. Not every voice must be answered. Not every demand is urgent. Not every thought deserves space in your mind. Discipline is not only about action, it is also about protection. Protect your time as you would protect something sacred, because it is sacred. Once it is gone, you will never hold it again. Think of your mind like a room. If the room is filled with clutter, there is no space to move, no space to breathe. When you clear the clutter, when you place only what is essential, the same room feels wide, open, and peaceful. Time is the same. Fill it with noise and it suffocates you. Cut away the noise and suddenly there is space. Space to think, to breathe, to create, to live. Noise often disguises itself as necessity. I must look, I must listen, I must respond. But in truth, most of it adds nothing to your life. The greatest courage is not in doing more, but in refusing what is meaningless. When you cut away the noise, you do not lose anything important. You gain back your mind. You gain back your hours. You gain back yourself. This requires awareness. Watch how your day unfolds. How often do you reach for something out of habit, not out of purpose? How often do you let yourself be pulled by voices that weaken you instead of strengthen you? The one who learns to notice this begins to reclaim life. The one who ignores it remains a prisoner of distraction. When you cut away the noise, silence appears. And silence is not empty. Silence is full. It is the place where clarity is born, where creativity awakens, where true rest is possible. In silence, you hear your own thoughts clearly. In silence, you feel the rhythm of your breath, the pulse of your heart, the simple miracle of being alive. Noise keeps you asleep. Silence wakes you up, and so the choice is yours. Each moment asks you, will you give yourself to noise, or will you give yourself to presence? Running through the park, will you scatter your hours into fragments that dissolve, or will you guard them as treasures and use them to build something lasting? To cut away the noise is to honor time. It is to say that your life is too precious to be wasted on what does not serve you. And when you begin to choose silence, when you begin to walk with focus instead of distraction, you will see that time expands. Hours become clear, days become whole. And in that clarity, you do not only live longer, you live deeper. Life always presents two kinds of tasks, easy and the difficult. The easy ones tempt you, calling for your attention because they bring quick satisfaction. They rarely move you forward in any meaningful way. The difficult ones demand more of you. They require energy, focus, and courage. And yet, these are the tasks that transform your life. To maximize time, you must learn to begin with the difficult. Not later, not when it feels convenient, not when you have more strength, but first, when the day is new, when your spirit is fresh, when your discipline is strongest. There is a mountain that waits for every person each day. Some choose to walk around it, postponing the climb, hoping the mountain will grow smaller by waiting. But the mountain never shrinks. In fact, the longer you wait, the larger it appears. Fear grows heavier, the resistance stronger. The burden of unfinished work lingers at the back of your mind, stealing your peace. If you face the mountain immediately, you discover a hidden truth. The climb is not as hard as the imagination makes it. Action always feels lighter than avoidance. Delay multiplies weight, discipline dissolves it. When you choose to do the difficult first, you free your mind. The rest of the day becomes lighter, easier, freer. Single bold step at the beginning creates momentum that carries you through all that follows. But when you leave the difficult until later, you live in its shadow. Every small task is poisoned by the thought of the great task still undone. You move through the day with heaviness, knowing you are avoiding what truly matters. This is how time is wasted, not in action, but in hesitation. Courage is built through these choices. The habit of meeting the difficult task first makes you strong, not only in discipline, but in spirit. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to know that no challenge is greater than your willingness to face it. This inner trust is more valuable than success itself, because success will come and go, but the strength you gain remains with you. Doing the difficult first is also an act of respect for time. It shows that you value your energy, that you are aware of its rhythms. In the morning, the mind is sharper, the will more alive, the body less burdened. Waste these golden hours on small distractions is to misuse your greatest power. A sharp blade should be used for the hardest cut, not for trimming leaves. When your energy is highest, give it to what matters most. Let the lighter tasks come later, when the strength has already been spent. This principle extends beyond a single day. In life will always be paths that are smooth and paths that are steep. If you continually choose only the smooth ones, your spirit grows weak. If you continually choose the steep ones, your spirit grows strong. The one who avoids difficulty at all costs spends a lifetime in smallness. The one who embraces difficulty first rises above limitation and discovers freedom on the other side. So let your practice be this. When faced with choice, do not ask, what is easiest? Ask instead, what is necessary? What will matter most when the day is over? What will matter most when life is over? Begin with that. Begin with what is heavy. Begin with what calls for courage. When it is done, you will feel the weight lifted, the burden gone, and the hours that remain will be filled with lightness and flow. To do the difficult first is not to punish yourself. It is to liberate yourself. It is to step into strength while others hide in comfort. It is to understand that the mountain is not your enemy, but your teacher. The climb is not meant to crush you, but to reveal the height of your own spirit. And when you live this way, day after day, difficulty loses its power. Fear loses its grip. You discover that nothing can truly stand in your way, for you have learned the secret to face what is hard first and to let the rest of life unfold with ease. Time and energy are bound together, but they are not the same. You may have hours, but without strength, those hours are empty. You may have days, but without vitality, those days are wasted. Time is the container, energy is the fire that fills it. To maximize time, you must learn to honor your energy, to protect it, to cultivate it, to direct it with wisdom. Without this, time slips away unnoticed, because a tired mind and a drained body cannot use it fully. Energy is not endless. It rises and falls like the tides. It flows and it fades. To pretend it is infinite is to live blindly. Many people push themselves without rhythm, scattering their strength on things that do not matter, and then wonder why life feels heavy, why the simplest tasks become burdensome. But the wise know that energy is sacred. It must be guarded, restored, and used with intention. To honor your energy is to honor your life itself. Begin with the body, for it is the vessel that carries you through every hour. If you neglect your body, no amount of planning will save your time. Sleep when the body asks for rest. It not only to satisfy hunger, but to sustain vitality. Move it so that it remains strong and flexible, not stagnant and heavy. Your energy is a reflection of how well you care for your body. A dull blade cannot cut, and a neglected body cannot serve your spirit fully. To sharpen your body is to sharpen your hours. But energy is not only physical, it is also mental, emotional, and spiritual. Notice how your thoughts can drain you more than work itself. Worry consumes more strength than effort. Resentment burns more energy than forgiveness. Distraction wastes more than focus. Protect your inner state. Choose thoughts that strengthen rather than weaken you. Surround yourself with people, environments, and practices that give life rather than steal it. This is not selfishness, this is wisdom. For when your energy is whole, you are able to give more fully, to work more deeply, to live more completely. There is also the rhythm of energy in each day. Some moments, your mind is sharp, your body light, your focus strong. In these hours, do the tasks that matter most. Not waste your peak energy on trivialities. Later, when your energy softens, then you can turn to the lighter tasks, the simple duties that do not require the full strength of your spirit. To honor your energy is to flow with its rhythm, not to fight against it. Rest is not weakness. Rest is part of strength. Just as a warrior sharpens the blade before battle, you must sharpen yourself with moments of stillness. Silence, breath, and renewal are not luxuries, they are necessities. Those who ignore rest live in exhaustion, and exhaustion shortens both time and life. Those who honor rest rise again with new strength, and this multiplies their hours. A rested hour is worth more than 10 weary ones. When you honor your energy, you also learn the art of saying no. Not every request deserves your attention. Not every invitation is worthy of your strength. If you give yourself to everything, you give yourself to nothing. Choose wisely where your energy flows, for where it flows, your life follows. Honor your energy is to guard it as a treasure and to spend it only on what brings growth, meaning, and purpose. And so, to live fully, do not ask only, how much time do I have? Ask instead, how much energy do I carry into this time? For the hours are empty without the fire that fills them. When you live with this awareness, you no longer waste yourself. You rise, you act, you rest, you renew. Time becomes abundant, not because you have more of it, because your energy makes each moment alive. Half attention is half living. When you scatter yourself across many things, none of them receive your full presence, and in the end, you feel as though nothing was truly accomplished. Greatest waste of time is not doing nothing, it is doing everything with only part of yourself. To maximize time, you must give yourself fully to whatever is before you. One task, one thought, one breath, entered with total presence. Life becomes shallow when you live distracted. You eat without tasting. You listen without hearing. You walk without noticing. The moments pass, they leave no trace, no depth, no meaning. But when you give yourself fully, even the smallest action becomes sacred. Drinking a cup of water becomes a ceremony. Speaking to a friend becomes an offering. Writing one page becomes a creation of value. The action does not determine its worth. The presence you bring to it does. Many people pride themselves on doing many things at once. Measure productivity by how many tasks they can juggle. But what is the result? A mind divided, a spirit restless, a body tired, tasks half finished. Multitasking does not create more time, it steals it. It gives the illusion of progress while leaving you empty-handed. Single, pointed attention, full devotion to one thing turns time into something vast. A single hour lived with total focus is worth more than 10 hours lived in distraction. To give fully is also an act of respect. It shows that you honor the moment you are in, that you respect the work you are doing, and that you value the people before you. When someone speaks and you truly listen, you give them the gift of your life in that moment. When you work and you pour yourself into it, you give the world something genuine, not diluted. To hold back, to divide yourself, is to offer less than you are capable of giving. This fullness requires courage because the mind always wants to escape. It wants to run toward the past or rush into the future, wants to seek distraction when faced with discomfort. To stay fully with one thing means to face yourself, to face your resistance, face the weight of the task. But this is the path of growth. Only by remaining, by not fleeing into fragments, can you discover the depth of life. There is also joy in fullness. When you are completely absorbed in what you are doing, time dissolves, hours pass like minutes. You lose the sense of separation between yourself and the action. You become the writing, the painting, the movement, the conversation. This is not only productivity, it is freedom. To give fully is to taste life without division. Merge with the moment so completely that nothing is missing. Imagine a day where every act is done with this fullness. You wake and rise with awareness. You eat with gratitude. You work with focus. You rest with presence. Nothing wasted, nothing scattered, nothing done halfway. Such a day, even if short, carries more life than a week of distracted existence. This is how time is expanded, not by adding more hours, but by entering the hours more deeply. To give fully does not mean to exhaust yourself. It does not mean to push without rest. It means that in each thing you choose to do, you are really there. And when you rest fully. When you work fully. When you love fully. Life is not asking you to do everything. It is asking you to be whole in what you do. So give yourself completely, not partially. Do not live divided, for division is waste. To live fully in each moment is to turn ordinary minutes into eternity. It is to make even the smallest task a reflection of your true self. In this way, no time is lost, because every moment has been filled with the fullness of life. Time is not only measured by clocks, it is measured by direction. A person can live long years and accomplish little if they walk in circles. Another can live fewer years and yet leave a legacy that endures because every step they took was aligned with purpose. To maximize time, you must align your actions with what truly matters. Without this, you may be busy but never fulfilled, active but never advancing, alive but never truly living. Purpose is the compass of life. Without it, you move, but you move without knowing where. You are pulled by the demands of others, by habits that drain you, by distractions that seem urgent but hold no meaning. You arrive at the end of the day tired, yet unable to say why. But with purpose, everything changes. You know what to give your energy to and what to let go. You know what deserves your yes and what requires your no. Purpose does not give you more hours. It gives you clarity about which hours count. Aligning with purpose begins with asking the deeper questions. Why am I here? What is my work in this season of life? What do I wish to plant that will grow even after I am gone? These are not questions of comfort. They are questions of truth. They cut through the noise and demand honesty. The answers may not arrive in a single moment, but even the search itself brings direction. To live without asking these questions is to drift. To live with them is to steer. When your actions are aligned with purpose, time feels different. You may work long hours. You do not feel drained because what you are doing carries meaning. You may face challenges, yet you do not give up because you know why you endure them. Even simple tasks become significant when they serve a larger vision. Washing the floor, answering a letter to a stranger, if they flow from purpose, they are no longer small. They are part of something greater. And in that greatness, every minute gains weight. Many people chase after things that look valuable but are empty. They spend years accumulating, comparing, competing. And yet, when they pause, they feel hollow because their efforts were not aligned with their true calling. This is the greatest loss of time, not the hours that pass, but the hours that pass without meaning. To avoid this, you must continually return to the question, does this action reflect my purpose? Does it bring me closer to what I am meant to live for, or does it lead me away? Purpose does not always mean grand achievements. It does not always look like fame or recognition. Sometimes purpose is quiet, raising a child with love, caring for the weak, creating something beautiful, speaking words that lift another's soul. What matters is not how the world measures it, but whether your heart knows it is true. When you live in this truth, you no longer envy others. You no longer waste time in comparison. You walk your own path, and every step is enough. To align with purpose also brings peace. Without purpose, you are torn in many directions, always doubting, always restless. With purpose, you may face storms, but your heart is steady because you know why you continue. This steadiness saves time because you no longer live in hesitation. You act with clarity, and clarity is power. So each day, return to your compass. Ask not only, what must I do? But, why am I doing it? Align your actions, your choices, your words with the direction of your true calling. When you live this way, even short years are enough because every day carries weight, every action leaves a mark, every moment contributes to something eternal. This is how time becomes meaningful, not by counting it, but by aligning it with purpose. Most people walk through life believing they are small beings moving inside a vast world. They see themselves as separate, as outsiders trying to survive in something greater than themselves. But this way of seeing creates limitation. It makes you feel like time belongs to something outside of you, like the world controls you instead of you shaping it. The deeper truth is this: you are not in the world, you are the world. When you realize this, your relationship with time transforms completely. To live as the world means to stop separating yourself from life. The trees you see are not outside of you. They breathe with you. The sky you admire is not beyond you. It reflects the vastness within you. Every person you meet is not other than you, mirror parts of your own spirit. When you live this way, every moment becomes meaningful because you are not observing life from a distance. You are life itself unfolding. Most of the rush, the worry, feeling of not enough time comes from the illusion of separation. You think the world is out there, moving fast, while you are here trying to catch up. But when you realize you are the world, there is nothing to catch up to. Time is not running away, it is moving with you, through you as you. This realization makes your minutes lighter, your hours deeper, your days infinite in meaning. To live as the world also means to take responsibility. If you are the world, then your thoughts matter. Your actions ripple far beyond what you can see. A word of kindness changes more than one heart. A moment of patience shifts the air around you. When you understand that you are not a guest here, but the very fabric of existence, you begin to treat each choice with reverence. Wasting time then becomes more than laziness, it becomes dishonoring life itself. Using time well becomes more than discipline, becomes an offering to the whole of existence. This way of living does not mean grand gestures every day. It does not mean you must always be achieving or creating something visible. It means you embody awareness in whatever you do. If you walk as the earth itself. If you breathe as the universe breathing. If you work as life expressing its potential. This perspective transforms even ordinary tasks. They are no longer small. They are sacred because they are movements of the world through you. When you live as the world, fear of running out of time begins to fade. You see that time is not only measured in years, but in presence, in depth, in connection. One conversation lived fully is worth more than many spoken in distraction. One act of love radiates longer than countless empty hours. Living as the world allows you to touch eternity within the passing moment because you are no longer a fragment. You are the whole. This realization also brings freedom from comparison. If you are the world, is no one above you, no one below you. You are not competing against others for time, success, or recognition. Each person is another expression of the same vast life, another wave of the same ocean. To waste time comparing is to forget your own infinite nature. To remember who you are is to walk in peace, using each moment as an expression of your true self. So live not as someone lost inside the world, but as the world itself, alive and awake. Every breath you take is the world breathing. Every step you make is the earth moving. When you embrace this truth, time is no longer something you chase or fear. It is the dance of existence flowing through you. And in that dance, you are never late, never behind, never outside. You are whole. You are here. You are the world. And so we return to the truth that has been shining through each word, each reflection, each breath. Time is not something you are losing. It is something you are shaping. Every choice, every thought, every action becomes the world itself. You are not a traveler wandering through life. You are life unfolding. You are not in the world. You are the world. Do not waste your hours fearing what you cannot control. Do not scatter your days on what does not matter. Instead, step boldly into presence, into purpose, into the fullness of this moment. For when you honor your energy, when you face what is difficult, when you give yourself completely, when you cut away the noise, when you rise each day with awareness and align your path with what is true, your time ceases to be ordinary. It becomes eternal. This be your message to yourself. My life is not separate. My time is not small. My presence is not powerless. I am the world, and through me, the world is renewed. So live deeply, live wisely, live fully, for the world is not waiting for you. It is already breathing within you.